With its strong industry interface and academic excellence, the Institute has nurtured leaders who drive innovation and sets benchmarks in global business. And IIFT promises to carry this legacy forward by preparing future leaders to shape India's business landscape at the world stage. In this spirit, the CHRO Roundtable brings together senior HR leaders from across industries to share insights and perspectives. This year's theme, Empowering the Future Workforce, AI, Evolving Skills and HR Expectations in a Dynamic Environment.
We would also like to welcome Dr. K. Rangarajan sir and Dr. Swaika Banerjee to the stage.
At RP Sanjay Goenka Group, Mr. Sahu drives the group's HR strategy, leadership development, and organization design initiatives across multiple business verticals, fostering a culture of agility, inclusivity, and high performance. In talent management, performance systems, and organizational effectiveness, earning him recognition as a thought leader in HR strategy and change management. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Okay, very good morning to all of you. Our Vice Chancellor, Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, Center Head Kolkata, Professor K. Rangarajan, Mr. Ajay Kumar Sahu, Group HR Head, RPG Group, my faculty colleagues from Delhi, Kolkata, PLESCOM members from all 4 campuses, staff of IIFT Kolkata, my dear students. A warm welcome to all of you for this CHRO Roundtable or CHRO Conclave. As you know, IIFT started its journey in 1963. Actually, when we started IIFT, major objective was IIFT to train ITAs or IFS officers on global nuances. And we are basically the think tank of Ministry of Commerce. Then IIFT shifted into management training that particular field, and our MBA course is a very sought after course as it is specialized in MBA in international business. IIFT follows one IIFT multiple campus philosophy or the proposition. IIFT Delhi was started in 1963, and 2006 we started IIFT Kolkata campus. After that we got IIFT Kakinada, and very recently we started another campus at GIFT City, IIFT GIFT City campus. So as of now there are 4 campuses in India. Very shortly we are going to start IIFT Dubai campus also. So as we are or we follow one IIFT multiple campus philosophy. So our everything is one, that is starting from our vision, mission, policies, statute, everything that is one. So you can see we follow same philosophy, same pedagogy, same selection procedures, all kind of thing. So I request all of our corporate partners, those who are present here, so to respect and support our that philosophy, one IIFT, multiple campuses. Whatever form of engagement they are looking from us, they should support our that initiative, because it's a very unique kind of initiative that we normally do in industry. That is one IIFT, multiple campuses. All our students from all 4 campuses are equally competent to take corporate challenges, and we train them to get accustomed with whatever new changes that are happening and when they are going to join industry, what they are going to face. In line of that, today's CHRO Conclave is one attempt to train them on one burning topic, that is AI. As you know, AI is everywhere. So we actually not very clear as an individual also what AI is going to give us. And when the students are going to join corporate in a year or 2, they have to face those challenges, and today whole day they are going to understand how AI is going to help human resource, what type of skill and competency they are going to or they are supposed to develop, whether AI is going to be a substitute kind of thing of their skill, whether artificial intelligence is going to change human intelligence or not. Because if you really see our normal life, if you like to make yourself physically fit, you have to do regular workout kind of thing. Similarly, if your brain has to be fit, the brain should work out, that we normally call brain gym. But we are told that this AI is normally makes our brain lethargic. Because on everything you have one AI support at the left right hand side of your computer screen. So we are told that the new human resource, those who are joining industry, they are lacking on innovative analytical skill. The so-called out-of-box thinking is not coming because their thought process is not that way challenged, because every time there is someone to help them out. Okay, so it may so happen that we are going to get a clone kind of human resource as a young human resource in coming days. So we have illustrious panelists, then keynote speakers. They all are seasoned HR personnel. They are facing those challenges. They are seeing those challenges. They know how to make you ready for them. So today, through our panel discussion, through our keynote speakers, through our spotlight speakers, we are going to understand, and it's basically for you. Your takeaway should be that post this session, you should know very clearly the areas you need to go for a further development, so that next year when you are going to join industry as a full-time job or a summer internship, the industry should get you ready to challenge those AI related activities. So I welcome you all for this, and I am sure that throughout the day we are going to get a very enriching kind of experience, getting insights from our thought leaders from industry. So thank you very much. Formal welcome to all of you.
A very good morning to all of you. Sabko namaskar. Dais pe विराजमान श्री साहू जी, my colleague Dr. Saikat, and the people from the industry leaders in HR, my faculty colleagues, dear students. But today we are here more to hear, because see, as teachers or trainers in a B school, we go by some of the happenings around us, and especially in the context of IIFT, which is involved not only in teaching and training but also high-end research, etc. We come and bring things to the classrooms the way in which we perceive the world. What is required, the people who are sitting here are the ones who face the brunt of it. Because see, suppose if they recruit someone and if the person is not up to the mark, गाली तो हमको पड़ता है पहले, कोई पता नहीं किसने पढ़ाया इसको. All right, so that is how this becomes an essential. I would say that today is an essential kind of activity for us in every institution. It should happen. Most often, we bring in lot of flair in finance and marketing and other places, but the base, which is the human resource, we need to know what is being expected, especially the current context. It is becoming more and more imperative on our part to understand what kind of skills are required. Because what I see from a challenge for an HR professional, though earlier we used to say that we look at intelligent quotient, how well they are going to be adaptable, the team spirit, etc. Everything we used to clearly assess and pick up the human resource. But in the past couple of years, what is happening, whatever may be the reason, is it because of the digital revolution, the information technology revolution, things have changed? Or is it because of a sudden growth which was started happening in bigger countries, bigger economies like India, China, etc., which is now changing the lives of the way in which the human beings are now adapting themselves, their family, the way in which they live, their work, their personal life, etc. Or it is because of the corona which has happened. Has it changed the way of life? Whatever it is, the reality is there is a huge kind of, what I see based on my experiences, a huge impatience among the youngsters. There is lack of clarity on what is to be achieved, what is not to be achieved. Gone are those days wherein we used to strive and then get to certain positions. Just to be very clear. And we used to have our own personal time and play time, etc. But nowadays everything is gone. Everyone is running after. Probably I think it is more peaceful in the day in the campus rather than in the midnight. In the midnight people need to come and watch. The whole campus will be a bus. Everyone is running around here and there. There are food which is coming. People are taking food at 2 o'clock, hot pizzas. And on the other side we say, no, there should be serenity in living and this is how you should live and what morals should be there. Everything is fine, but what is happening in practice? Why this kind of an impatience? I am looking at from an HR person. What is going to be the trade-off when you are looking at the set of skills which you are now going to recruit? Because there is a lot of talk about employability quotient. It is coming down. So all institutions are more giving preferences. No, we have to make you employable more. When I look at from an organization and its HR, employability quotient is fine. It is fine, but where is the loyalty quotient? To what extent the human resource, the skills which are there, which is being taken with almost all the kind of time you spend on them and identify the right kind of manpower. But to your surprise, you find the person leaves. The longevity of the youngsters who are there in an organization continuously is now reducing. Maybe, I may be wrong, it is my this thing. What I see, because of our own alumni also I see, where are you working? Now I am with Sriram, and now where are you? Now I am with ICICI. What has happened? Now I am with HDFC VP. And this is within a span of 6 years, 8 years. Gone are those days wherein we used to see, he is retired from telco. There has to be a house wherein it may be written, Mr. So-and-so Sharma, retired telco. Mr. So-and-so, retired from ITC. That loyalty is gone. The day when you recruit a person, the person is using the same PC of the organization and start using is posting his CVs to the other places. It's a challenge. I'm not blaming on the students because the kind of impatience what has settled in, they wanted to. Recently I was looking into a survey, the global survey which McKinsey conducts. Out of the 9 factors, the last factor which has been rated as least important for the executives while changing their job is job security. I was surprised. See, generally we used to give more importance to job security. And this is what is happening. But look at the firm. You are being taken because they wanted to discharge their economic responsibility as a firm. How will the firm be able to discharge that economic responsibility if the human resource and the longevity of that human resource for the productive contribution to the organization is at stake? I don't know how the current HR professionals, and here I'm seeing a lot of people who are day in and day out deal with these kind of people. Adding to that is, because we are giving more importance to the employability quotient, the Indian typical classroom is more and more interested in versatility in every aspect. Oh, supply chain? Yeah, I do. Equity financing? Yeah, I do. You know sustainability? Yes, I know. Most of the things they are, because they are trying to grab as much as knowledge as possible and make them more and more skilled so that the organization, when it comes, they may be able to see that, okay, this guy is more employable. And what I see is, in the long run, If I am more employable, that means my market value is high. My market value is high, that means my stay in the organization will be limited. Because I have good market value. That loyalty part, no, the organization has given me an opportunity for which I should be able to repay that organization. Sometimes I need to stay with this and then give it back. That we do in the classroom, we do a lot of things. I see a lot of mid-career and late mid-career corporate professionals who come back to me and call and then say, sir, I want to give it back to the institution, so can I come back to the institution and give lectures and share my experiences, etc. Good. But you have reached the glass ceiling so fast. So you are interested in diverting yourself from the corporate rigor. You feel that the other side is more greener, so that you may be able to get into that. That is another issue which I think has to be addressed, because I am not looking at from only an educational institution which is imparting international business education. I am also looking at what is good for the business domain, for the organization, for the students, for people who are managing these kind of things, and for we people also as trainers and teachers. What we are supposed to do, what we should not do. So probably this round table is giving us an opportunity to discuss all these kind of things which are happening. The certainty with which you used to have a manpower planning and a 5-year goal and I don't know. See, I am a faculty in strategy. We used to talk about 5-year strategic plan and 10-year strategic plan, etc. Now everything is gone for a 6. We say, oh no, see, let us go for only 1 year, huh? 1 year. Huh? The first quarter, let us see, and then we will revisit. Because the landscape is having so many changes. There are two important things what I look at when it comes to a B school. One is AI is dominating. To what extent it is going to replace the manpower which is required in an organization. On the other side, another buzzword also started happening, that is the sustainability part. Like AI has gone into every business function. So you talk about analytics, financial analytics, HR analytics, and then everywhere you have analytics. The same has also gone into sustainable HR, sustainable marketing, sustainable finance, and everything is now getting into that sustainability part also. Whether it is going to stay, what are the things which I need to know? Because of the digital revolution, everything is available at a click of a mouse. How much I need to grab and how much I need to learn and digest also. That is also going to be very important. So probably this round table is going to be a unique kind of a round table, and which has given us an opportunity to thrash some of these issues and try to listen from the practitioners as to what is their take on this, how they are looking into. Because I know the first and foremost priority now for a HR professional at the top level is you are going to have the generational gaps within the workplace. A person like me, a person from 90s, and these youngsters who always carry 3 gadgets, 2 gadgets. It's only measured by the gadgets. If you have 3-4 gadgets, then that means you are a Gen Z. If you have only 2, okay, you may be 90s. If you have nothing, like me, you are gone case. But everyone is there in the organization. For a HR, they are going to look at this. See, I don't know how, but the only satisfaction for me is probably when this chaos will happen in an organization, I'll be out of my work life. So that is only satisfaction. Okay, now you retire and just witness. That is what is going to happen probably. Anyhow, I'm really thankful to all the people who have agreed, and that too on a Sunday. Definitely when we are conducting, in fact, IIFT Calcutta and IIFT other campuses also, though we are Sarkari, but we work like a private sector only, 24/7. So on a Sunday, you people have agreed to come and deliberate on this. I'm really thankful, and I'm also, I should compliment Dr. Saikat and Mr. Bunty for taking this forward, and within us has already given you the brief. We also try to bring in for lateral movement in all of you, and also I wish all the success for this roundtable, and I hope we'll be coming out with certain points which will be definitely helping IIFT to chart its future course of action. With this, once again, thank you and Jai Hind.
Very good morning to all of you. Dr. Rangarajan, Dr. Banerjee, the esteemed members of panelists who are present here, members of IIFT family, and all the delegates and dignitaries who are present here. It's a real privilege and honor for me to be here today, speaking to you about a very contemporary topic, which is the impact of AI on the workforce, how the automation is impacting the workforce. And to start with, when I got a message from Bunty a couple of weeks back to be here, the first thing I did was I asked the ChatGPT, what is the topic and what are the possible areas. So this is the starting point today. I have been a HR professional, practicing HR professional for more than 3 decades now. And it has always been, I mean, whether it was 3 decades back or whether it is now, the topic is what is the changing role of HR in the current context. It was there 30 years back also, it was there 10 years back, 20 years back, and even now. So what it says is that the context is changing every time. Say, whether we talk about all the stakeholders, that is the work, the workplace and the workforce, the context is very, very dynamic every time. So even if we talk about it, say 1 year from now or 2 years from now, there would be a different context for HR. So that's the starting point. Today, in fact, when we talk about the AI, artificial intelligence, the shaping of workplace or the workforce has been changing in a very, very unprecedented way. That's because of whether we talk about the generative AI or we talk about predictive analytics or demographic changes or any kind of change in the employees' expectations. Because the Gen Z or the current entrants to the workforce is your Gen Alpha. The expectation of Gen Alpha is very, very different even from Gen Z. So the context is changing and HR has a very, very different role to play every time. Gone are those days where HR used to be more process-oriented function. Now it's no longer a process-oriented function, but it is more of how to reshape the workforce expectations, how HR can be an architect of the changing landscape. The key challenge today before HR, I'm sure there will be a lot of deliberation over the days, throughout the day today. One of the challenge today before the HR is how do we balance between the human potential and the technological acceleration. The way the technology is changing and the way the human potential is reshaping, how do we balance both of them? That becomes the key starting point today. In the age of AI, how is it impacting the workforce today? The generative AI, the analytics, everything is redefining the job. They are redefining the roles, the performance metrics for the different organization. And well, even though we talk about AI is replacing everything or AI is likely to replace, it's not that. AI is actually augmenting the human capability. It's not going to replace the human capability. It will rather facilitate, augment, or enhance the human potential going forward. So it is going to be an effective combination of human and machine collaboration. How effectively both human potential and machine will collaborate with each other. How is it impacting on the workplace? Most of us will agree that we have the routine work processes under HR are getting automated. Whether you talk about, the joining formalities of an employee, the interview process, many of these things are getting automated. So the routine things are getting automated. And we are focusing more and more on things like creativity, the analytics, data insights, complex problem solving. These are becoming the key skills which are going to be useful going forward. The AI-driven insights are enabling more on the personalized learning. How do we do the talent prediction? If we are hiring a talent today, how are we predicting the talent for future? And how do we do the workforce planning? So the focus is more on these things because of the AI. And of course, everything has to happen with the ethical way of handling the artificial intelligence as far as the use of data and the HR mandates are concerned. On the evolving landscape of the skills which are required today, the shifting is happening more from the technical to the power skills. The technical skills are going to be given going forward. There's no, you can't survive without the technical skills. Whether you are a student or you are a working professional or you are an entrepreneur, you will not be able to survive without the technical skills. That is given. But the shift is happening more towards how digital literacy you are, how you are adaptable to the change, what is your critical thinking abilities, your data interpretation, and how do you respond to the emotionally intelligent situations when you are working anywhere. The emotional intelligence is going to be more and more critical for being able to succeed in the workplace. We used to, couple of years back or even a decade back, the training used to be measured by way of how many training mandates we did in the workplace. But today, the training is not about it's not an event. It's not a training on a particular subject. The focus of training is more on skilling and reskilling the workforce, and it is becoming more and more towards developing capabilities or building capabilities which are sustainable for future. And the learning is more towards human-centric skills, because other skills are given. And learning is going to be lifelong. You can't say that, okay, now once I start my career, I don't need to learn anything. If we go by the World Economic Forum report, 50 to 60% of the skills today which are there are going to be outdated within the next couple of years' time. So everyone has to be skilling or reskilling himself or herself to be able to succeed. As far as the leadership skills are concerned, the focus is more on the today's leader. They should be more tech curious. Well, like Dr. Rangarajan was saying that he doesn't have in his generation, he may not have a single gadget. That's not the point. The point is that whether you are curious about the technological change which is happening around you or not. That's the skill which is going to be more useful. Agility, the leadership agility is a critical aspect. I'm sure we have a topic for discussion in the day-to-day on leadership agility. That means if you are not responding to the change at the right time, at the right place, you will not be able to lead further. So the leadership agility, the emotional intelligence are going to be the leadership capabilities which will be very, very useful in future. The the teams which are going to be the part of the workforce, they are more informed about the AI. So from the HR perspective, how are we going to lead a team or lead multiple teams which are more informed about the changes which are happening around? They are more informed about the artificial intelligence in terms of uses, and how do we lead those kind of teams in terms of being transparent, in terms of being, say, meeting their trust, and how we are going to manage those kind of teams is going to be a major concern for HR. So a couple of changes which are happening from in the HR perspective. One is, as I mentioned, we are moving more from a process driven to a insights driven. Today we are not focusing more on what kind of policies what we are going to have, but we are more concerned about how can we focus on employee experience, right from, say, acquiring a talent till, say, exit of a talent. What kind of employee experience we need to provide in the organization? The focus is more on that. The hiring is becoming more and more focused on use of digital. For example, say in RPSG group, we do have management institutes. We have 3 management institutes. So every time for the admission, we interview about 15,000 students. So if you interview 15,000 candidates, it will take 2 to 3 months. So the first level of interview happens actually through a bot. I mean, the human say interview happens only for 2,000 to 2,500 candidates. So that's the kind of changes which are happening now, and there is no moving away from that. We'll have to say adapt more and more towards that. When it comes to with the change, it's also very important to redefine our talent strategy. So the talent strategy in terms of, say today, I'm sure the members seated here will agree with me that invariably 60-70% of the interviews which we do, one question comes that do you follow a hybrid work model? Is it work from home? Is it work from office? So that is the expectation of Gen Z, Gen Alpha today. So how can we design a talent strategy which will include more of hybrid work, or how do we balance the flexibility with the culture of the organization? How about curating more of people experience rather than formulating administrative policies? How can we focus more on the potential rather than the educational or the pedigree or anything else? How can we identify the human potential rather than the education and pedigree? Today, when we look at the entire context, I'm not sure what is going to happen maybe another 3 years or 5 years from now, but in the today's context, it is going to be more of the HR to lead the dialogue between the human potential and digital transformation. So we have to come up with the ways of working which will have a coexistence of human as well as machine. And how do we create the culture wherein every individual will thrive? While there is AI, there is machine, there is technology, but at the end of the day, it is the human who will drive the technology. So empowering people not just to survive the AI-driven change, but how do we shape it? That is going to be the key point for HR. I have a couple of questions. I mean, the HR experts will be deliberating today through the day. So there are a few questions which I thought I will leave here. We must try to find answers to this question in our deliberation today. The first one is, how are we framing the future? And we as HR professionals, and we have the evolving workforce in front of us, evolving technology. So how do we shape the framing of the future? So when I talk about framing the future workforce, how about how can we define the shared responsibilities and agency in the changing environment? The second question which comes to my mind is how will we define the collaboration of human capability and machine? What would be required from HR so that there is a effective collaboration between human and machine? So we must think about the ethical artificial intelligence and its operational integration into the workforce, so that whatever we do, it has to be in a ethical manner. The third question comes to my mind is that we as HR professionals have to think seriously about how will we ensure in the organization the responsible use of technology, because technology is open-ended. What is more important is how we can ensure the effective use of technology for the benefit of the organization. Whether, for example, if we are using technology in performance management or say learning and development. So how can we use the technology so that we are more transparent, and how it can be bias free, and how HR can play an important role in bringing that in the picture. The fourth question is what should we do to redefine the future skills? What are the requirements of future skills so that because today what is happening is the technology is learning faster than the human beings. You put any question, say, 5 years back, if we have to prepare a PPT on a topic, it would require 2 hours. Today you ask Perplexity or ChatGPT or any generative AI platform, they will give you in seconds. So the technology thinking is faster than the human thinking. So how do we define the future skills in this context? How do we build in learning agility? So learning is going to be a continuous process. How do we enable the workforce so that they reinvent themselves continuously? What should be the new leadership agenda? Because the leadership agenda 5 years back or 10 years back and today is entirely different. 2 years from now it is going to be more different. So what are the, how can we create leaders who will be technologically more advanced, at the same time they are also emotionally intelligent, because you need the combination of both these requirements in a leader. How do we see the HR transforming for future? Because what we are looking at today from an HR perspective would be very different in future, say a couple of years from now. So how do we define the transformation of HR? Is it going to be a process-driven function, or is it going to be a more of data-driven insight, strategic foresight of the human empathy? How do we build those capabilities within HR? The eighth question is, how about the employee experience and empowerment? In the HR, in the AI-driven world, do we focus more on autonomy of the employees, or we focus more on greater personalization to the employees, or we focus on deeper purpose of the organization and the individual? So we need to have a serious thought about it. The ninth question is about how do we build the right kind of culture and trust with the changing environment, which is going to be more and more transformational, more and more rapid. What kind of culture the HR is going to build for the future organization? And the last question, which I thought I will leave here for the panelists, is when we look back 10 years from now, will we see HR to be recommended as a function that adapted to technology, or the one which it humanized it? Are we going to create HR as a function which is more, adapted to technology, or which is more focused on the human side? That's the question probably we need to find answer to. And I'm sure the topics which are going to be deliberated today is going to be very, very critical, not only from the point of view of the workplace or the organization, but at the same time for the workforce, those who are already there, those who will be coming into the workforce, and how the entire thing has to be visualized for future. That is going to be a key context for the HR to function. Thank you once again, and I wish all the best for the rest of the day.